Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks postgame podcast powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at comed.com/clean and stay tuned for more information on that later. I don't know. Trying to keep people hooked. Trying to keep people interested.
Unfortunately.
The Hawks lose 3-0 to the Nashville Predators.
We don't have that read today.
In a game that wasn't quite as horrible as we predicted in the first, or in the pregame show, rather. The first period, real bad.
Yeah.
The next 40 minutes, not so bad. And I think the key takeaway in this game is Arvid Soderblom with a pretty solid bounce back game. He was the first goal he let in was of the soft variety, but really kind of hunkered down after that and kept the Hawks in the game.
Yeah, beyond that first goal, he was the reason that they, kept it a 1-goal game up until a 5-on-3 power play in the final minutes of the game, and then it's 2-0 empty goal, empty net 3-0. Like he had the performance that probably he was looking for after the string of performances he's had the last almost all season, basically. So that's all you could ask from him, and the bar was set very low for him in the rest of the season, and to come away with 33 saves, you give up 2 goals. Like most nights, that should give your team an opportunity to win, and unfortunately, it's this Blackhawks team has a really hard time getting anything going offensively outside of Connor Bedard.
Yeah,
on most nights, and the power play was terrible tonight. So. What are you going to do?
We're going to get to the power play. A couple weeks ago, for my Blackhawks beat, I talked to Steve Peters from PHNX, former goalie, NHL video coach, and asked him, can you explain the Slingshot power play and how it's supposed to work? We've downloaded that video. We're going to play it during this show so you can get an insider's perspective on why teams use the Slingshot power play, why it's supposed to work, and why it's not working for the Hawks. It's a really good night to bring it out, I thought, because as we said in pregame, when you're overmatched, the best thing you can do is have your power play or penalty kill come out and perform well. The penalty kill was good. Mm-hmm. They give up a 5-on-3, but what are you going to do? The power play had 1 shot on 3 attempts. That's horrible.
One shot on goal on 3 power plays.
Right.
Like, come on. Yeah. Come on, guys. And the power play in the third period, when you think, okay, maybe we get a chance here, it was still a 1-goal game. They couldn't connect a pass to save their life.
It's brutal.
And I know this roster is so depleted. But come on, these are professional hockey players. Like, you have a power play, puck possession shouldn't be the hardest thing that you have to overcome.
I mean, there was a pass from point to point with no defense that just was fumbled.
Didn't get there.
I can make that pass to Greg.
Can you though?
I think so. Once they wheeled us out onto the ice. And let us,
are we playing floor hockey?
But it was a point-to-point, undefended play, and the pass was just behind and then went out of the zone. It's like, come on, the simplest things are killing this team. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's brutal. They got the power play to start the third period. They won the face-off, and it still took them 20 seconds to get the puck going in the right direction.
Yeah, you got to go backwards first.
And, people want to say, coaching on the power play. Sure, maybe. But fuck's sake, look at these guys who are out here.
Dude, you said it after the last game. I was a little bit fired up, and then Greg kind of talked me down and said, is Luke Richardson flipping over a table really going to make Colin Blackwell a legit NHL scoring threat, or Cole Gutman, someone that you can count on? That? No, that's not it. This is a matter of talent. And look, if this team was still at the full strength it was, actually it really never was, but if Hall was still here and Perry was still here and Seth Jones was still playing and all these injured players were in the lineup and it was looking like this, then I'd be a little more concerned with the coaching. But
yeah, it'd be different.
Scotty Bowman in his prime couldn't do shit with this team right now the way they're made up. There's no way.
And you have a not very talented team who's also a very passive team. And that's two things that just not... You can have not a lot of talent and be aggressive, and maybe every third night you catch somebody and you turn in a good effort.
Hey, that was last year's team.
Yeah. This year's team is passive. Kevin Korchinski refuses to shoot the puck.
Oh.
Guys just pass it to no one. Guys, I think they feel like if they hold on to the puck for more than 2 seconds, it's like one of those messages from Inspector Gadget where it explodes. and the
This
chief,
puck will self-destruct.
yeah, like if you hold on to the puck for more than 1.7 seconds, it's going to blow up. And guys just get it and just like, well, it's been 1 second. I better pass it even though there's nobody where I'm passing it to. It's a passive team when they have the puck, which isn't very much. And when they do have the puck, you have guys who can't score and guys who just refuse to even try.
Well, it's what Derek Plant said going into the third period. It was spoke to Vosters and Troy between periods, and they're like, "What do you got to do to get more bodies in front of Juicy Saros?" And he goes, "Possess the puck."
Yeah,
That's and that's the thing. Like when
Simple.
you never have the puck, you're not going to be able to get anything set up. And then when they finally do set up on the power play, nothing gets done. By the way, as we do every game, we're going to let you vote for the 4-star of the game. Your 3 stars are Gustav Nyquist / Thomas Tatar, Ryan O'Reilly, number 2 star, and UC Saros, number 1 star for Nashville. So here are your nominees. Nikita Zaitsev, 19-20 of ice time. He had a shot on goal, 4 shot attempts, 2 hits, and 5 block shots. Also the biggest blue line for what that, if that counts to you. Arvid Soderblom stopped 33 of 35 Nashville shots. And Colin Blackwell, 13:08 of ice time, 4 shots and 7 shot attempts. So get your votes in. The other bit of news here is yet another apparent injury.
Yep.
Anthony Beauvillier, who had been playing a very solid game, I thought,
Yeah, he was playing
gets
well.
crunched along the boards, leaves the ice holding his arm, and did not return. So looks like another. We'll see what Luke has to say after the game about this, but did not look good.
Yeah, not definitely do not want to speculate before there's any information out there. But someone pointed it out online. It looked very similar to when Kirby Doc crunched his arm at the World Juniors and skated right off the ice. Hopefully, it's not that serious. And everybody knows this Blackhawks team does not need more injuries or anything like that. I know Beauvillier left the game. Blackwell wasn't on the bench for the start, the end of the second period, but was able to come back out. Philip Kurashev took a heavy hit that Nick Foligno made. Was it Lozon answer for? So just at this point, with how many injuries this team has sustained, it just seems like every hit, every collision, every play that goes into the board, you're kind of just like, oh, don't get hurt, like, because you're getting down to, okay. If Beauvillier's out, we were discussing this. Who comes up from Rockford? Mike Hardman, David
left.
Gust. Do you sign Anders Bjork to an NHL deal? Like,
That's what I would do.
Jeez,
Everybody that was contributing in Rockford is already here,
right?
and Colton Dock is on.
Concussion
Protocol. I don't think Ryder Ralston's getting the call, though I wouldn't hate that. But
Yeah, sure.
David Gust,
Michael Tepley,
sign Anders Bjork, or
or
if there was only a 3-time Stanley Cup winner and former All-Star available, just sitting there,
saying, "Hey, sign."
petting his dog, waiting
Sign
for his
me.
phone to ring. If there was only somebody like
If
that
only.
out there.
Yes,
If only.
If only.
they need
Do it.
They need healthy bodies right now, and
Do it.
the term healthy can be subjective, but they need bodies, and Phil Kessel is a body.
He is certainly a body. He is a peak male form.
Yes.
Sign Phil
That's what I
Kessel.
mean.
I mean, man, it's made sense since day one of free agency, and it makes no more sense. Or it makes so much sense now. Like, get a guy who's actually currently not hurt,
Yes.
has a track record of being a legitimate NHL player. Sure, he doesn't have the same speed that he used to play with, and maybe his offensive abilities aren't what he was when he was an all-star, but at least it's somebody who knows how to do it, somebody who still has a little bit of that capacity to do that. I mean, it's a guy coming in who's just looking for a chance to play in the NHL. Bring him in. Every teammate that, well, not everyone, but most teammates that have played with him have loved him. Like, he is a great personality to have in the locker room, and I don't think it's a bad idea to get a good locker room personality in here right now and a guy who could actually play NHL minutes.
Here's a little update from Mark Lazarus. He says, Luke Richardson said Anthony Beauvillier would travel with the team to New York, but he didn't sound terribly optimistic. Lazarus says he just walked by Beauvillier and his left arm appeared to be in a cast or sling. So not great. Not great news there. That's for sure. As for the Kessel thing, I don't want to be the wet blanket guy here, but it feels like it would have happened by now. There's been so many moments where Kyle Davidson could have gone out and bring in somebody to address this and someone to help out when the injuries are, like when Corey Perry went away or when Taylor Hall went down. There were opportunities. I know they said like, well, guys are going to come back and we need to have roster spots for them. There's some guys on this team that could benefit from a full season in Rockford. Like Cole Gutman, Brett Cini, go on and on. Even if you wanted to throw Joey Anderson onto that pile, I think bringing somebody in doesn't hurt at all. You got to do something here so the team at least feels supported, right? Because game after game, guys are going down. And look, like Beauvillier goes down trying to win a puck, going against, on a puck battle. Like the guys are getting hurt from competing and playing hard.
Right. And
as they keep dropping, and the team looks up, up on high to the skybox, like a little help. And it doesn't have to be Phil Kessel. There are guys out there that are available for low pay. Like, I don't know.
Josh Bailey.
Beauvillier was a good example of kind of doing that. Like, okay, this is a guy who, decent pedigree, has shown he can perform. There's more Beauvilliers in the league, and as these injuries begin to stack up, maybe it's not Kessel, but I'd like to see somebody come in and help this team out a little bit. I just think that you kind of owe it to your team. And I know, the goal is to lose. And I saw McLovin say something earlier in the chat kind of about like, well, it's a catch-22 because where'd that quote go? I don't want to misquote him. There it is. He said this team is a catch-22 no matter what. I'd rather lose and get the lottery than win and have people complain we don't rebuild right. The point, yes, the wins and losses don't matter, but and somebody on Twitter sort of said this day too. It's like, yes, we don't mind the W's or L's, but it's how the W's and L's are coming.
Yeah.
And that's where the concern comes in. And today was a better example. This is not an 8-1 loss to the Stars. This could have gone either way, but I don't know. I think at some point to look your players in the eyes and just be like, "There's no help coming." It's got to be frustrating. I would imagine.
Yeah, but I mean, in all seriousness, what are the actual options? I mean, I know we've been pounding a table for Phil Kessel. At least Mario and I have, and most of that, if you haven't known, is tongue in cheek.
Though it's a bit, but it'd be fun.
I would still love to see it.
It'd be fun if it happened.
I mean, we're not like,
Yeah.
It's not going to move the needle if he gets here. It'll be fun for us to cover him, but as far as how, but I mean, what are the other realistic options? I just don't. I mean, you do need some more NHL talent here, but I just don't know if. Is it worth giving up other assets to bring in somebody for 40 games on this bad team? And I don't see anybody that would be available out there.
I don't think you need to trade to get a guy. The Beauvillier move was in response to Hall. That was the like, Hall's gone. Let's try and get somebody who can play up and down the lineup, maybe can play in a top six in a pinch, and you help out Vancouver. You get some assets. You get a little bit extra for helping them out, right? There's no reason to do that again, to try and do that again. If you can sign somebody for nothing, like Phil Kessel or whoever is available out there,
not
for
a ton of options.
For half a season, like, sure, you could do that at the cost of, a league minimum contract that's prorated for half a season. Literally costs you nothing. And maybe they come in and actually look productive and they have half the games less than most guys have played this season. So a team at the deadline might actually think about, hey, maybe they're in the league and play well. We could give up future considerations for them or something, Or you keep them here all year, and it doesn't matter for next season or beyond, because you just say, hey, thanks for the fill-in role for half a season. Or you say, come on down, David Gust. Come on down, or up, rather. No, down. Rockford's north. Mike Hardman,
Sure.
But as you mentioned in the pregame, Greg, like, the more the Blackhawks go through injuries and just keep bringing guys up from Rockford, the more they're hurting Rockford, which
they're down to nobody.
Which in the last 2 seasons, we've seen, the organization as a whole kind of treat Rockford more as, hey, we want to invest in development down here, rather than just, here's a bunch of guys that maybe that might not have a future in the NHL, but we're just stashing them here for a few years. So, do you keep taking from Rockford at the detriment of developing some of your players, or do you go grab somebody off the couch for pennies on the dollar and just ride it out for half a season?
All right, well, here's your couch options. Jonathan Taves.
He's no.
Josh Bailey.
I will say, can I point out the intermission, second intermission, that like NHL year in review, the Jonathan Taves segment was the goodbye segment.
Yeah.
So
right. I mean, they'll say, well, he said goodbye to Chicago, which is technically true, but yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Josh Bailey, Blackhawks legend.
They have Jesse Puljujarvi here listed, but didn't he sign with? So I don't know.
He's he's playing in Finland, I thought.
I don't know. Phil Kessel, Kiefer Bellows, Nolan Patrick, Wayne Simmons.
Nolan Patrick retired,
but he didn't though.
Cody Clark.
I don't know.
Pierre Cedric Labrie, Derek Brassard, Ryan Dzingel, Austin Polganski, Eric Stahl, Alex Chason, Zach Parise.
Dzingel's from the area, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, so there you go. Nobody's walking through this door and making this team a whole lot.
Do you want 38-year-old Zach Parise on a league minimum deal?
Sure.
No, supposedly he's gonna go back to the Islanders anyway.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're talking about none of what you do, if you were to go the route of free agency, is turning the team around. It's just to give this roster an option of someone who could play in the NHL, that you're not just plucking up from the AHL to say, here, next man up. Like, I don't know.
And the AHL, the Ice Hogs, I mean, there's just not. They're really going to be struggling these next few weeks because, Cole Gutman was one of their top guys. He's up here. Brent Seeney's was their leading goal scorer. He's up here. Crevier, Phillips, those guys are up here. But the Joey Anderson was a big part of their
at the
team.
Beginning of the year. Yeah.
Whoa.
There's not much left to take. Colton Dock is hurt. So yeah, you've got David Gust, you've got Bjork if you sign him, which sure.
That seems to be like the most reasonable thing to do.
At least he's got speed.
And it's not going to hurt the development of anybody. I mean, it makes the team worse, but
The Ice Hogs.
Ice Hogs, right?
Yeah.
But the AHL guys, the guys that that's why I don't think Doc would be the guy even if he was healthy, because it's more the guys who aren't getting called up who are the important guys, not the guys getting called up. That's why Del Mastro and Allen never got called up while the defense was going through all their guys.
That's why Doc has stayed down there.
Right,
the whole
I
season.
don't think Ryder Ralston's going to be the guy getting the call. Not that I'm not saying Ryder Ralston's a huge part of the future, but they want him to play down there.
Michael Tupley.
Sure,
He's been around for a few years.
He had a big weekend. He had a 3-point weekend. So why the hell not? Give him a shot. He's slow as all hell, but he'll fit right in. So yeah, I get frustration. I get people who got to get help. Everybody has been brought in here to help has been killed at some point this season.
Everybody I told about the file is dead.
So, it's just like, anybody who said they saw a shot come from the grassy knoll at Dealey Plaza and mysteriously died, like, hey, I'm here to help Connor Bedard. Dead.
Oh, boy. Well,
In that case,
you said it right. I mean, it's just how it
Kessel away.
seems. It's tough. They're in a tough spot, and look, like we have had many games here we've been pissed about the effort, and this was not one of them. This is about as good as you could have hoped for. Now, I will say, the power play is an irritant. And why don't we get to the PD thing next? It's really good.
Sure.
First, we want to tell you about our friends at CIRCA Sportsbook. And if you want to place your wagers, there's no better place to do it than CIRCA. Their games strive to be a minus 110 split on the CIRCA Sports menu, unlike other sports books, which may use minus 115 or minus 120 splits. CIRCA Sports keeps as little money as possible on large market bets like futures, golf tournaments, etc., especially when comparing to other books. They've got high app limits and transparency. CIRCA Sports does not limit players based on their winnings. Every player has the same limits, unlike other books who limit winning players. That's not fair. CIRCA encourages bettors to download and explore all sports betting apps available and compare the lines from each sportsbook, and they're confident that when you do, you'll be happy with what CIRCA has to offer. Aside from their great odds, they also have incredible customer service. There's real people behind the CIRCA Sports brand. No chatbots like a bunch of those other sports books use.
Get out of here.
And all aspects of the app are being run by the same team that runs the main CIRCA Sportsbook at CIRCA Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. So what should you do? Well, download the CIRCA Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today and be on the lookout for CIRCA events, watch parties, and tailgates. And if you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. Text GAMB to 833-234 or visit areyoureallywinning.com.
Do we have is this the real Duke in our chat here?
Yeah, this is the Duke of Bears lore.
The CHGO
Bears
celebrity.
fame.
Throwing
Only
us
one way to
20
tell,
bucks.
yeah.
How about that? Wow.
Thanks, Duke.
Thanks, Duke. We'll read that super chat after I tell everyone about the good people at the Midtown Athletic Club.
Where the Duke's a member, probably.
Probably,
Can
yeah.
afford it.
They have 4 Chicagoland locations for you to start your year right for your physical and mental health. They have locations in Palatine, Bannockburn, Willowbrook, and right here in the city, in the heart of Bucktown and Lincoln Park, and that is the Midtown Athletic Club and Hotel. Midtown in Palatine, they launched a multi-million-dollar transformation of the club, which is close to completion. The club has been open the entire time, but it is almost fully functional in its peak form, helping you get in your peak form.
Like Phil Kessel.
Yes. And Midtown right now is offering no initiation fees through the month of January at their locations in Bannockburn, Palatine, and Willowbrook. So if you're looking to get in to the Midtown Athletic Club, if you're an individual or if you are a family with kids looking to get the family out at the Midtown Athletic Club, taking advantage of their amenities, plenty of options for you to do that. And those amenities include super luxurious locker rooms, wet and dry saunas, indoor and outdoor pools and hot tubs, top of the line fitness equipment, and you have a ton of yoga studios, group exercise studios. I know the Bannockburn location has a boxing ring, tons of things to do. Also, restaurant quality food. I hear the buffalo chicken sandwich is a favorite. And if you love tennis, the Midtown Athletic Club is the place to be. Indoor and outdoor courts, pickleball, paddleball, also available, and it is all USTA professional quality. So head over to midtown.com/CHGO and find out more and schedule a tour of the local Midtown Athletic Club nearest to you.
All right, do that. And with the money the Duke's given us, maybe we can get a group membership. He says, "What's up, CHGO Hawks? I've enjoyed the Bedard highlights. I am an admitted hockey novice, but more importantly, I'm a Chicago sports fan bandwagoneer. Just checking in. Is this team's arrow still pointed up?" Yes, the arrow is still pointed up on this team.
Yeah.
Big time. And I saw some people in the chat today, like, kind of giving it to Bedard, and it's like, if you're Nashville, all you have to do is stop him.
And they did.
That's it.
You can double and triple team him with like no consequence.
Yes, he's got less than zero help. If anything, he's got people hurting him on the ice with him. Like, it's just
honestly.
I mean, Bedard's doing everything he can possibly do. He still had a couple good looks in this game. Was not credited with a shot. We'll get to Connor's corner obviously later in the game, but or in the show. But he is the least of their problems, and I really hope this doesn't become the new thing. Is if Bedard doesn't have 2 points every night, they're like, he needs to do more. Like, Jesus, he's already carrying a team.
Back to back months as rookie of the month.
Right.
Only because
Pretty close to a point per game player as an 18-year-old with zero help.
The only reason he
Pump
won,
the brakes on worrying about his defensive deficiencies.
Right.
The reason he won that award 2 months in a row is because they don't consider plus minus, obviously.
Yeah,
True. Yeah.
exactly.
Or time on ice.
Yeah, it's not weighted for time on ice.
A bunch of people also, before we get to PD's video on the Slingshot power play, talking about the rumored new deal for William Nylander in Toronto. Rumors I've seen are 8 years, 11.25.
Ew.
That's what he's worth.
Yeah.
And it means that obviously William Nylander won't be a Hawk, but they got to move somebody. And the next move on that list is Mitch Marner. And
Yeah.
I, quite frankly, might prefer Marner to Nylander if it's all the same.
I would, and I'm not. That's not a bash of William Nylander. He's a terrific player. I don't like them lazy Scandinavians.
With their visors.
Yeah, no, I would prefer Mitch Marner just because Marner is more of a complete player.
He's like just as skilled and was a Selke finalist
as a
winger.
As a winger, which rarely ever happens. They should have happened a bunch of times when Marian Hossa played, but he's a terrific playmaker, and the idea that the visions of him and Bedard passing it back and forth to each other,
perfect fit.
Like it's good. And the thing is, like, I know a lot of people say just wait till he's a free agent, but they may trade him as soon as this summer.
Mm-hmm.
And
because they're going to need cap flexibility.
And people will say, why don't you just wait for him for the summer? If you can do what like the Panthers did for Matthew Tkachuk and get that sign and trade type deal where you guarantee he's here, you're not waiting and trying to outbid other teams.
Yeah, the other teams aren't also going to wait till the summer.
Right. So you try and do that, and that's where you give up some of these extra. You give Toronto their first round pick back and whatever else.
And here's Peter Mrazek. Thanks.
You give them their first round pick back from the McCabe trade, and you
just undo that trade. Mrazek and their first back.
But this is where some of those young prospects that we all are falling in love with come in handy. You're going to have to give them, one of those defensemen are going to have to go at least. One of those defensemen are going to the first round pick. One of those defensemen, maybe one of the talented forwards in the pipeline. Who knows?
I don't care.
But
do it.
Yeah.
If you give it,
if you do it for Marner, it's worth it.
And if you have Marner here as soon as next season, then things are looking better.
There's one untouchable Blackhawk, Connor Bedard. That's it.
Yeah.
Everybody else, if it's Mitch Marner, even Korchinski, you're listening. I'm sorry.
I would.
He's an unproven commodity.
I would, because at least Mitch Marner shoots the puck.
That's true.
Yeah,
that
true.
And plays better
And it's
defense.
not a knock on Korchinski, but look, if you're talking about adding one of the top, I don't want to get into this, but 15 players in the game in Mitch Marner, it's not going to be just like, here's a first and a second. Hell no. Teams are going to know there's a giant bidding war for his services.
It's going to hurt a little bit, but it'll be worth it.
I agree. All right, let's share this video. So a couple weeks ago, I reached out to Petey from PHNX. He is a longtime video coach, a goaltender, knows the game probably as good as anybody in the ALLCITY network, probably better than any of us, let's be honest. And he did a video breakdown of the Slingshot power play for us. This was on my Blackhawks beat at allchgo.com, but now that a few weeks have passed since it's been published, we're going to share the video with you here. So check it out. Here is Petey from PHNX. Hey.
Oh.
Hello. That was good. Okay, so here's the thing.
Petey must have just found out we got into a shower.
Here's the thing with that. You're getting these 2-on-1s, right? That's the idea, is you're creating a bunch of 2-on-1 matchups.
Yeah.
They don't have the skill. They don't have the skill, especially in their current. I mean, look, they're not going to change the system because they're injured. I get that. But, like, it has to be perfect. It was illustrated in all those videos where you can't do it too early, can't do it too late, can't do it with any sort of defender there, can't do it standing still. This team is not skilled or good enough to execute a power play that calls for such skill and speed to work. So it doesn't work for this kind of roster.
Then scrap it.
Yeah.
And don't do
I
it.
would. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can say, like, oh, like what they've been doing recently is it's an option, but you give the puck carrier the option to scrap it. Just scrap it. Even at their full health, they were average at best at executing this.
Yeah.
And now you have so many guys that didn't expect to be here, and your defensemen on the power play puck carriers, are 19-year-old Kevin Korchinski, who, as you saw in the videos, was the 3 different examples of what not to do. And today it was Zaitsev and Vlasic. Like, just play simple. Play the simple game. You have a power play. You have a man advantage. Whoever's the puck carrier gets it with speed. Everyone follow the leader with the speed, chip it into the corner, and try and win a board battle.
Get it.
That's the simplest way to do it.
Got
And
one more guy than them. Go get it.
on that, the second power play of the third period, not the one they started the third period with, but the second one that they had. Mm-hmm. They tried the slingshot entry, got into the zone. The first pass that they make off of the blue line goes around the boards, and the Predators just throw it back into the Blackhawks zone. Easy peasy, take 30 seconds off the power play. The next entry was they just chipped it in, went down for a board battle, and they won the board battle, and they got possession after that. 5 seconds later, it's going the other way because of a bad pass, but at least you chipped it in, got an entry, won a board battle, and had some possession to work with. So I just think it's, at their full capacity this season, they can't execute it properly enough, effectively, consistently. Just play simple. And if it's going to be a slew of ice hogs coming up to help with all these injuries happening, just keep it simple. AHL guys in the NHL just need to play the simplest form of hockey that they can.
Korchinski especially, and I think part of it is him being 19 and wanting to do things by the book and not wanting to improvise too much, but he will drop the puck no matter what. Yeah. There could be the ice could have been like Bane came and half the rink crumbled into the ground, and he'd be like, "I'm on the slingshot, drop pass." Like he's got. I wish that, and that's the same thing with him, by the way, that we're seeing with him not shooting, is he's thinking too much. He's in his head. He's trying not to do the wrong thing, dude. Your skill, your speed, your shooting, your passing, all those things are what got you to the NHL at such a young age. Trust it. Mm-hmm. I said it last game. It is not selfish to score. Putting the puck in the net is not a selfish act.
It's the point of the game.
Do it. He has passed up so many opportunities to shoot, and I wish he could switch mindsets. Get the shooting mentality for the drop passes.
Yeah,
and only do the drop pass when it's absolutely perfect.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or not at all.
Or
that too.
Or use his skating ability to just skate the puck into the zone. Like he has the ability to do that.
Yeah. It can be maddening, and look, a lot of it has to do with obviously the skill of the roster, but you would think at some point you've got to adapt to what you have.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, if the 80s Oilers lost Gretzky and Messier and Curry and Coffey and on and on and on, they wouldn't play the same style.
Right.
You wouldn't think.
It's just, it doesn't work that way. And I know you're trying to build a system and get guys comfortable with it for when the backup does arrive with Nazar and Moore and maybe Mitch Marner or whoever else, that you're already well ingrained into the power play system. But the way to learn is not to fail over and over again. That's a way to get really frustrated and get your confidence shot a little bit.
Right. And that's when you start freelancing to try and do things, on your own. And then that's not helpful for anybody.
And then when they finally get possession, because they're so, shell shocked from the lack of success, that they again overpass and they get too cute and they get too fancy. And it all like avalanches on itself.
Yeah. Luke has said since day one that he wants to keep things simple because that's what the roster dictates. It's time to just get simple on the power play, get the puck in, go win the puck, have Bedard carry it in or Korchinski carry it in, flip it in. That's where you have your Foligno go get it. Mm-hmm. Get the puck up to the top, to the point. Korchinski start firing it away, get bodies in front, see what happens.
That's it.
It's not that difficult. It doesn't need to be complicated. Most power play goals are scored off of a redirection or a rebound.
Yep.
They're not these amazing, when they're against the Blackhawks, they're backdoor plays, but that's that's a whole nother issue.
That's a 5-on-3 today.
But, most power play goals are scored from within 5 feet of the net. They're not these great plays. They're not, you have your exceptions to the rule where Ovechkin has that Hall of Fame shot and, DeBrincat fires from there too, but most power play goals, you got to get a bruise or two in order to score them.
Most 5-on-5 goals too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
scoring in this league happens within 10 feet of the net.
Most of the time, yes. Yeah. There's a reason those amazing plays get shown on the highlight reels because they don't happen very often.
Yeah, exactly. We got a super chat here from Chris who says, Korchinski definitely must shoot more. Perhaps he needs a night off more than Phillips. Davidson must add something. Development of young talent is hurting, and that's bad. Softenblom was really good tonight. Yes, he was good.
Softy Bloom.
Softenblom.
That's a typo. Yeah.
No, I think it's like softy, like softy.
I know, yeah. But at the N instead of the B, they're right next to each other on the keyboard.
You blew it. You blew it, Chris. But thanks for the $20. We love that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank
you
you.
didn't hit the wrong button in the monetary. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I see this a lot. The development of the young talents being hindered. I'm not buying that because listen, the young guys that are up here are all playing huge minutes.
Mm-hmm.
How has Dylan Larkin been okay?
What, this year?
As a pro?
When he's healthy, sure.
Yeah.
Has Nathan McKinnon been okay?
Yeah.
As a pro?
Yeah, pretty
They all
good.
played on really bad teams.
Yeah, like historically awful teams.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
I don't think the development is being hindered when you're playing top power play. You're playing 20 minutes a night as a forward. Like that's you're taking your lumps at the NHL level.
yeah.
So
And with guys like Korchinski, that's the route you have to go because he can't play in Rockford.
right.
And sending him to the WHL does him no good.
Not at this point for sure. I mean, Canada
he's-
surely could have used him at the World
I'm sure
Juniors.
Canada would have loved him to be at the World Juniors. But
I'm not laughing at the kids who are brokenhearted. I'm laughing at all the rest of the country.
Canadians.
The adults who go online and yell at children
Yeah.
World
and
Junior,
about,
World Juniors
which is
time
what we're doing right now.
is
technically.
it's a time to hate Canada. Go USA.
That's why I got the patriotic macho man on tonight.
Beautiful.
Medal round. I got 2 more waiting to go for Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
For celebrating a gold medal win.
Edward the first with the $10 super chat says, I wish they would pair Foligno and Etwas with Bedard. The 2 dudes on this roster that are going to go get the puck for him.
There goes all of assists.
I mean, Foligno's been there.
He's
been on the line.
on
most
that
of the-
line.
He's on there a couple games ago, right?
I would say, aside from Kurashev, Foligno has been his most consistent line mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
I mean, yeah, it's the left wing spot has been a rotating door. It's been Donato, it's been Beauvillier, it's been Foligno, it's been Reichel. Like Jesus, like
Taylor Hall was healthy.
If Taylor Hall was healthy, yeah. Well, if Taylor Hall, he's left wing. That's right.
Yeah. That's why it was a perfect fit at the time.
Here's what you do. If you want to get guys playing simple hockey, give me Dickinson, Bedard, Reichel.
Sure. There's nothing you could throw at me that I'm going to say no.
At this point,
it's just like
at this point,
Sure.
yeah. I'd be surprised if that wasn't a line.
I mean, it
at
makes
some
sense.
point this season.
But yeah, I mean,
Foligno and
Dickinson makes every line he plays with better.
Does.
yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
And it's not a coincidence that Foligno and Dickinson have propelled other guys to playing well this season, like Colin Blackwell, like Cole Gutman, like guys that get paired with them. Suddenly they look a little bit better, and it's because of the way that they play, the north-south style that they play, the aggressive forecheck. Guys they play defense, they play simple, put pucks on net. Like the Dickinson, Foligno, whatever third line pairing that they put together is what this team should be playing like.
Right.
Most nights. So if you did Foligno, Dickinson, Bedard, or put Bedard in the center between Foligno and Dickinson, like I wouldn't hate it because it's at least like you put your best player with the two guys that get the most out of the rest of the team. Like, at least you could get one line going in theory. I don't know. It's at this point with the injuries and who's here and who's available to put into the lineup. I mean, you just take all the names, rip up some piece of paper, write all the names, throw them in a bowl, pick them out one at a time. 1, 2, 3. There's a line. 1, 2, 3. There's a line. It's not going to make a huge difference.
No, because you've got Connor Bedard and then guys.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
Got another quote here from Luke Richardson. This from Ben Pope. Says, the guys battled. It was the first step of where we want to go. We don't like the results. We can't accept them in this league, but the coaching staff was proud of how we asked them to battle yesterday in practice and bring it to tonight's game. Unfortunately, we didn't get any luck around their net, but the process of how we want to play was there. I generally agree with that.
Sure. Tonight's loss is not, they packed it in, looked for the exit.
Right.
Tonight's loss was just you don't have talent. You don't have talent.
Yeah, the first period was awful. Second period was pretty good. Third period was decent when you consider the two rosters.
Right. Yeah.
Soderblom had his best game of the night. I was actually not upset with the 5-on-3 goal because I was like, okay, at least they're gonna lose on like a real goal because the first goal he gave up on the power play was a soft
Not
one.
a great call.
Right.
And I was gonna be really bummed if they had lost 1-0. Like, you couldn't get him a goal. Like, the one soft one he allows is going to hurt him tonight.
Right.
So that 5-on-3 one didn't. I was like, okay, at least he's not losing on that bum goal because we knew at that point the Hawks weren't scoring. So, I mean, this is one you can't complain about efforts. It's just and I just don't know if like. Lack of talent and lack of effort can sometimes be confused for one another.
Yeah.
It can be.
Where you're just like, well, these guys don't ever have the puck. They're not trying. No, they're trying. They're just really bad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's apples and oranges, but like you'll see it a lot in baseball when a team can't hit. Like, they're not even trying. No, they just suck. Right. They're just bad. They just are guys that can't hit.
There's other ways to indicate effort level rather than talent level. In hockey. And yeah, tonight we're not pounding the table saying they didn't finish checks, they didn't, back check hard, they didn't try and win board battles. It was just talent. They didn't have possession, and when they did, they didn't execute it. They didn't execute passing well. They didn't execute their power play strategy well. And they just don't have that NHL caliber capability to do it, to beat a team like the Predators. They just don't have the guys to do it right now.
Yeah. K's Creations MC says, honestly, if you take those third period penalties out of the mix and they still had a chance up to then, bad penalties at the wrong time of the game in some ways. Yeah, there was some truth to that. And that's, again, when you're chasing the whole game and you're probably worn out from defending, you take stick penalties, you get lazy, you get caught behind, and you end up taking some bad penalties you don't want to take. There was also a comment up there I want to get to. Steven, if you could scroll up a little bit. I forget who it is now. The Hockey Barn. There you go. It's our pal at the Hockey Barn. Go visit that place, by the way, on Ogden between Adams and Monroe.
If you can get in.
Yeah,
it's
good luck.
A busy place.
Game days, I hear it's tough to get a table.
Yeah,
That's a good thing.
Hockey Barn says, how about giving Marcel a shot? We've got to
AHL contract.
Pump the brakes on some of these guys. He was a 5th-round pick this year.
18.
He's got 2 assists in 14 games in Rockford. He's
19.
not.
19.
He's not NHL.
He's not even on an
close.
AHL contract.
Yeah,
He's 20,
He's on
actually.
He's 20 now.
Sure,
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, he's
Still
on an
a baby.
AHL contract. He
Giant
is
funny baby.
he is there to develop a professional game. He's not there yet.
Yeah. I hope he is someday.
But
He's
yeah,
very entertaining.
it'd be great. He'd be one of the best quotes in the locker room if and when and if he ever makes the NHL.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take another break, and we got a bunch of segments to pay off. But hey, we've got what, like 200 people watching and only 77 likes? That's not right.
That math don't jive.
Please smash that like button for us. Get in the habit.
Make
Just make
your,
it part of your routine. You click on the broadcast and click on the like.
Make your New Year's joke that you did and have him smash it for not liking the joke again.
Yeah, exactly.
From the pregame.
But I can't make my joke that we haven't taught you since last year because we did earlier today.
Darn. You just did.
Thank you.
Hey, there you go.
But smash it anyway.
You know what I hate almost as much as the Slingshot. Actually, more than
I
the
don't know.
Slingshot.
Jay's
Oh.
joke.
New York.
Oh.
No. I'm used to Jay's bad jokes.
Thank you.
You know what is even worse than the Slingshot power play is ticket stress. I
Oh,
hate
yeah.
ticket stress.
F that.
Your favorite band's coming to town. You got to wait in an imaginary line for 4 hours just for the computer to say, sorry, those tickets aren't available anymore. I hate it. It's the worst. Well, Game Time takes away all the worry and all the stress when you're going to buy your tickets for your next big event. Game Time is fast and easy to buy your tickets for all your sports, music, comedy, and theater events near you with last-minute killer deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. You want to go and see Connor Bedard live in person playing with the Rockford Ice Hogs, you can get yourself some good deals. A week from tonight, Tuesday night, Edmonton Oilers are in town.
Ew.
Connor McDavid, they're pretty good.
Sounds good.
$39 gets you in the door.
That's not bad.
Connor
That's a good
versus
deal.
Connor. That is a good
That's
deal.
worth it for McDavid.
Yes. And then the following Tuesday, the Sharks are in town for the first round of the Celebrini Bowl. $23. You want to see the boring-ass Minnesota Wild in person? If you suffer from insomnia and need help going to bed, you can get in for $22 on Wednesday, February 7th. That's a little too much for the Wild, but
See Brock Favor have no points, be a +1 in 30 minutes.
yeah,
Hooray.
still not win the Calder. So no matter what game you want to go to, what event, browse through the Game Time, head on over, download the Game Time app, and you're going to get the last-minute tickets, flash deals, deal zones, easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. View from your seats in the venue. That's a cool little trick. You're not sure what kind of view you're going to get. Use the view from your seat feature, and you'll know exactly what you are going to see when you buy your tickets from Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download that Game Time app, create an account, use the code CHGO, and they're going to give you $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHGO. I had to spell that out for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
And you want to look good when you go to a sporting event. And if all your CHGO gear from CHGOLocker.com is in the laundry, which is understandable.
Yeah.
You got to go with our friends at FOCO. You can get fitted out in the best sports gear around. They've got hoodies, shoes, pajama pants, everything you can imagine that you want for a game. It is hockey season. You want to be warm in the ice-cold United Center. Get ready for a game. And guess what? If you're into bobbleheads, the Connor Bedard bobbleheads are flying off the shelves. They just announced, you can pre-order this now at FOCO.com, a Connor Bedard Michigan goal bobblehead.
Oh, yeah.
You don't even get to see like the final design. You can see like what the outline of what it's going to look like is.
If
And
3 of them, you
I
can't
really
even
hope
see.
Jordan Binnington is in this bobblehead. That will be a must buy. But there's a Connor Bedard rookie sensation game breaker bobblehead sold out. Don't even have a design for that yet. The first career goal bobblehead sold out. The one that we ordered that's coming soon, the Makita and Bedard side-to-side bobblehead, sold out. So if you want this Michigan goal bobblehead,
Can't even get Connor Bedard friendship bracelets. What's going on? But kid is crazy.
if you want to get this Michigan goal bobblehead, you have to pre-order it. You can't wait. Jump on it now. FOCO stuff is awesome. Yes, it's $75. It's limited. This is a collector's item. There's
They're
only
only
144 of these made.
144.
So go to FOCO.com or click the link in our description below. And for all non-presale items, use the promo code CHGO10 for 10% off. But if you want that Michigan bobblehead, and I know you do,
8 inches in height?
yeah, that's a good size.
That's a tall one.
Go get it now before there's only 144 of these going to be made.
Good thing we're not a kid.
You are now.
Ah,
You just missed it.
All right.
All right, we got
Yes.
some super chats to get to before we pay off our segments here. What do we got here, Steven?
From Chris.
We've got Chris.
Whoa.
Chris is our guy.
Whoa, hey,
wow,
Chris.
Holy moly.
Chris is spending that Christmas money.
Okay, I got to see where to start here.
This is top down.
All right, top down. $20 super chat from Chris says, starting to, question mark? I don't know what that means.
Starting to question.
Starting to question Davidson signing a dirtbag Corey Perry and injury-prone Taylor Hall. I know he can't control injuries, but come on. Soderblom was a typo. Okay. Yeah. There was no evidence of any of this stuff with Corey, and we don't even know what it was, quite frankly. No one questioned that signing when he came in.
No, literally
There's a reason he played till he was 38.
Literally the morning of the incident, the Blackhawks were using social media to show him signing autographs for kids at practice.
Yeah. Yeah. The Taylor Hall injury thing is legitimate, but it's also what made a talent like Taylor Hall available. Is teams were like, well, we got a lot of money invested in this guy. Boston was. They needed to clear some cap space, and they said, this guy's injury prone, and he's a depth player for us, so sure. Here he is for nothing.
Right.
And that's what you got him for. So, fine.
Ian Mitchell is not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my friend.
you roll the dice that you get a healthy Taylor Hall, and if you don't, you're in the lottery.
Have you not heard Ian Mitchell is going to be the next Duncan Keith?
I've heard that.
Of the Providence Bruins?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He
Good
might
for
be.
him.
He's going to be the next Keith Duncan.
Chris with another $5 says, love Foligno dropping mitts, jersey pulling overhead Deutschville candy ass. Yeah, I mean, you knew Kurashev was going to get hit like that, and Foligno was going to go after him. That's a given.
Doucheville Candy Ass, a song by Marcy Playground.
I think so. Yes. I said Deutschville because that's kind of how he spelled it. And Deutschbank.
like a Mad
The guy's a
Libs.
total Deutschbank. And then another from Chris who says, love all CHGO Hawks, the group that has to cover the cheap-ass Cubs and the Bears guys. You guys are all great. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Appreciate that,
You're feeling
Chris.
generous tonight. I
Appreciate all the
Appreciate that very
support.
much.
Yeah.
Something, this could be a great segue into our next segment. When I was walking in here, I was thinking, we nicknamed Studio B the Radish Garden way back in March of 2022.
It was like one of the first things we did.
Because it was like his first game here, he scored a goal, or second game. So this is the Radish Garden. We love him. He's great.
Yeah.
I think it's time to change the name because I think the garden has been tilled and it's not very fertile anymore. So what are we going to call?
There's a radish famine.
Yeah, the varmints have come in and eaten all the radish. And I thought of the perfect nickname for this studio.
Okay.
And it's one that we'll be able to use for many, many, many years. This is now Studio Bedard.
Oh, I like it.
Ah, yes.
Nice. No one else can use that, though.
No.
Sorry.
Studio Bedard.
Hopefully it's
Studio
Studio
Bedard.
Ellinger soon. That would be nice.
B. Ellinger.
Yeah. Studio B. Ellinger.
Studio B. Fields.
The Fields.
Sure. No, it's Studio Bedard.
I love it.
And that could take us right into Connor Bedard's corner.
Yes.
There it is. My favorite part of the show.
Connor Bedard, now featuring rights-free Steamboat Willie. Take that, Walt Disney.
Come sue us, Disney lawyer. We waited 95 years for that.
There he is. Steamboat Willie. No other Disney imagery in there at all.
No.
Absolutely
No.
none. Connor Bedard, 0 points, 0 shots, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Actually, it kind of does. He had 2 shot attempts in this one, 19:04 of ice time. There was one moment, and it delights me when Connor Bedard has a misplay where he probably could have shot it on the backhand instead of the forehand, and they cut to good old John Scott in the intermission saying, well, if it was me, I just would have shot it on the backhand. Thank you, John Scott.
No, you wouldn't.
I don't think you need to teach Connor Bedard how to play offense.
If John Scott,
We're good.
If Connor Bedard is going to start listening to John Scott, we're in big effing trouble. If it was me, it wasn't you.
He had, 5 career goals?
I love that he uses his the headphones he stole from United Airlines on his Zoom call to the Blackhawks studio.
For the record, I like John Scott. He's a good guy.
I
but
do like
He
John
does have
Scott.
5 career goals and 11 career points.
I like John Scott, the human being. He's a fun dude. I've had the chance to hang out with him before, but he's not the person that should be telling Connor Bedard how to play hockey.
Yeah. Not taking offensive.
And by the way, Lucy, that is not the character that it
No,
was
it's
in there.
Steamboat
We
Willie.
cannot say that character because we'd get in trouble. It's Steamboat Willie. He's the one that is now free for all of us to use.
Yeah. Chris with another $5 says, Studio, do something Cubs.
Let's do some
is this
thinging. Do some thinging.
I think Chris has had some.
Chris has had a fun
finished-
night.
he's
He had to
finishing-
get through the rest of his New Year's liquor.
He's finishing off his leftover eggnog tonight. Is that Cody's burner account, by the way?
Yeah, it might be. It might be. It very well could be.
only if his next super chat is something about being big of him for being here.
Give him
Yeah,
credit.
Then we'll know it's Cody.
Well, he would call people out for the lack of likes. That's what Cody would do. So
That's true.
Smash that like button for us. We'd really appreciate that. All right. We've got to do 4-star of the game. Just you wait yourself with your helmet, all right, buddy? People want to see your deep dish hat.
I want to grab my helmet.
4-star of the game tonight. No surprise. We probably had the graphic made before the show began. Arvid Soderblom, who stopped 33 of 35 shots. And look, I'm not ready to say he's back, but it's really nice to see.
Was he ever really here, though?
Yeah, it's a good point. It's really nice to see him bounce back and play. It was a good game from him. He played well. Yeah, the first goal was soft, but he made a lot of big saves. A couple after that 5-on-3 goal. They had another shot where he was down and out, laying on his back. He's kicked his leg up like a rocket. Made the save.
Yeah,
Got it.
A couple big saves in the third. The first period, he was really good. 16 saves.
Yeah.
Yeah, the goal he gave up was not great, but he had that one play where he kind of like deflected the puck out of midair over the net.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He was seeing it well, I thought, in this one.
Yeah, I mean, he's a guy that we've beaten up a lot on this season, and rightfully so. Like, I don't think we've been out of line at any point. We've been much nicer to him than a lot of people in our chat have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy for him that he had a good game. Now let's see him build off of that. He's going to get another start on this road trip. They have back-to-backs. Thursday against the Rangers. We'll see Mrazek. So then he'll play the New Jersey Devils on Friday, a fast team that is probably going to skate absolute circles around the Blackhawks. That could be an ugly one. Both of those games could be very ugly. So let's start getting like 2 good starts in a row. Not saying he's got to go out and beat the Devils. Just don't give up 6.
That'd be good.
I mean, making 33 saves and only giving up 2 goals, like I said before, that should keep you in most games.
Like your GAA is almost 4. Get it below that. Keep going down on that.
Right.
Up on the save percentage, down on the GA, and maybe you can salvage a second half of the season where you're like, okay,
right.
it was really bad, but it got better.
Yeah.
All right, one more super chat from Chris, $20. Chris, thank you, man,
Chris.
but put the wallet away. He says, very big of me, and yes, Happy New Year's, boys. Thank you, Chris. Happy New
We
Year's.
should just keep
Cody.
interacting with Chris. We're going to get all these super.
Yeah.
I mean, we can take
Do the
we can
Chris-
take tomorrow off.
Well, we'll name the studio B the Chris studio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Studio, but Chris. All right, let's give Mario his helmet again. No one cares.
Yes.
Cares.
Back to the
on a technicality.
back
Woo,
to the,
technicality.
back
The
to the
best
game
win.
score. Congratulations for picking the player who sucked the least out of the 3 of us.
Greg had Bedard. I had Korchinski, who was the lowest rated player in the game. And Mario had Cole Gutman,
Yeah.
who wins on the blue lines.
Told ya.
So there you go. Mario with a 16th win
Told you I had a gut
of
feeling.
the season.
Hey,
Good for you. We're
I
all
feel like
happy
this
for ya.
is. I'd have to go back and check, but I feel like this is the first time, maybe in the last 4 times that I've won it, that I'm actually wearing the helmet. I think I've either been at the United Center or in my bedroom closet. So it's
Showing us your knob.
yeah, it's nice to be here and have the up to the standards helmet back on. Feels
And
good.
I know we got some new people in here, and Frank in the chat says, I've been a Hawks fan since 1964, and I've never seen a team that sucks this bad. It's pathetic. Frank, this is a rebuild. And for a lot of your life, from 1964 on, there was not a hard cap. So teams did not have to kind of burn it all down and start over when they could just bring in whoever they wanted at any time. This is a rebuild. This is what it's going to look like. It's what it looked like for Detroit. It's what it looked like for Colorado. Will it work like it did for Colorado, or will the Hawks be the next Red Wings? We don't know. But you've got the number one piece that you need to turn your franchise around. You've got a generational talent who has won Rookie of the Year back-to-back months as an 18-year-old. You've got a lot of really highly touted prospects, both on the team and around juniors and college and everything. Like, the light at the end of the tunnel is there. Whether or not it's going to be another dynasty remains to be seen. But this is what a rebuild looks like. And look, if you want to be, we always talk about like the Nashville Predators or the Minnesota Wild and these teams that like half do it with no real hope of winning a Stanley Cup. Is it more palatable on a night-to-night basis? Yes. But does it get you the ultimate prize? No. And this is the way the Hawks have to do it. And now look, I think the 3 of us agree. We've been on board with what Kyle Davidson has done so far. This offseason and the next, it's going to be time to make plays for legitimate, highly paid, sought-after free agents that matter and bring in guys that are going to be part of this team with Connor Bedard for the next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And now we got to see how he can do at those negotiation tables. But this is what a rebuild looks like. It's what got the Hawks 3 Stanley Cups is you got Keith and Seabrook and Taves and Kane. Then you were able to sign Hossa and you develop Corey Crawford. Like, that's how it works. And all these draft assets they have, they increase the odds of the team having more depth pieces as years go on.
And 2 other points to add to that real quick. This is not as bad as some of those early 2000 teams, because some of those early 2000 teams were they were sold to us like this is a competitive team when everybody knew it wasn't, and there was no hope. Last year, this year, we know what's going on here. They're bad by design. And right now, if the Blackhawks players on their injured list played the Blackhawks players on the active roster in a pickup game, they'd kick the dog shit out of them.
Yeah.
So, yes, even if all those guys come back, when they come back, hopefully they come back, they're not all dead, they still won't be a playoff team, but it will be at least like NHL competitive.
Yeah.
You'll have actual NHL guys out there on every line.
And I keep saying, like, if the team that was brought in to start the season was still here, this team would be much better and much more competitive. But you've had so many injuries of key players and long-term injuries of key players. It is what do you expect them to do? I expect them to go out and compete like they did in this game. Are they going to lose more than they win? Yes. But the only thing that's going to piss us off this year is if they go have a mail-in effort like they have, frankly, too many times this season.
Right.
So, but yeah, I mean, look, they're bad by design, and it's going to end up in them probably getting another top 3 pick, hopefully the top pick, and it's another piece you can add as this team starts to come out of this rebuild in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, you have a likelihood of winning the draft lottery 2 years in a row. So you get a guy like Connor Bedard. You potentially get a guy like Macklin Celebrini. That sounds like a nice 1-2 for the next 15 years.
I don't know. I like guys who score in my World Junior elimination games.
Okay.
He's a bust.
Then this year's draft, or this past year's draft, you had 2 first-round picks. This year's draft, you have 2 first-round picks. You have a slew of second-round picks where a lot of quality guys can be found that could be first-round plus talent that fall into the second round. And, then you have the ability to use some of those picks or prospects as currency in trades that matter for guys that are going to be immediate impacts. So, yeah, you have a rebuilding team. You have a rebuilding blueprint. Now you're actually in the rebuild now. When we started up, it was in March of 22, it was tear down time. And all of last season, it was tear down time, and it was the moving on to the next era. And it very rarely do teams move on from one era to another in consecutive seasons. Very rarely do highly successful teams move on from guys that are going to go into the Hall of Fame and then just recycle into they're still competitive.
Unless you're the Bruins,
yeah. Like it's very rare to do that. And Kyle Davidson inherited a organization that was directionless, and at least they have a direction, and they have pieces to the puzzle that are starting to come together. I mean, if you look at the World Juniors going on right now, you had Adam Gajan playing in net for Team Slovakia, coming up big in their action. You have 4 guys with Team USA that are playing really well. Sam Renzel is playing really well. Gavin Hayes is playing really well in the role that he's expected to play for that team. Frank Nazar is picking apples like Johnny Appleseed, which is wonderful to see. Oliver Moore is playing on the top line. And then you got a bunch of guys in Rockford that we've talked about with your Del Mastros, your Allens, your Docs, Ralston, Lipin, guys like that. And then you have guys in the OHL and the NCAA that you get excited about. So there's a lot of those future pieces that are in the next 2-3 years coming up the system, while also you have tons of cash to spend. And this offseason and next offseason, there's a lot of guys that you look at and you're like, I would be very comfortable spending all this cash on these players, and it moves the needle forward. It progresses the rebuild forward, and I think it's just takes a little bit of patience. It looks like this, and then when you have a rebuilding team that's expected to be in the bottom 5 and they experience a dozen injuries, it gets worse. So this is kind of just a situation that they're in, and at this point you just hope for health, and you hope that, Connor Bedard is put in a bubble.
That'd be great. With this $50 from Chris, we maybe can buy him a bubble. He says, yes, I'm straight drunk, but I think there is a direction and understand the frustration from fans in a city where all the teams are question marks. Hawks, I predict, will be playoff caliber in 2 years if Davidson is successful next 2 off seasons. I think that'd
be fun.
That's probably reasonable.
Yeah, I've said for a while, 25-26 is the year that you can really hopefully be like, okay, if everything goes right, this is a wild card team.
Yeah.
And you take that next step. Yes, the future is bright. This is a season we just kind of have to ride out and deal with it. And then in hopefully 2 to 3 years, we're going to look back at some of these rosters, these game rosters, and go, oh my God.
Yeah.
That was so bad. And it is what it is at this point. I don't think there's nobody going to walk through that door right now that's going to make much of a difference.
He's already here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's Jay Zawaski.
That's right. All right, we're going to wrap things up. We're off tomorrow, back Thursday for pre and post game, so don't miss that. And reminder that we are powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at ComEd.com/clean. Make sure you smash that like button for us on the way out. And hey, as fans start to catch on to Connor Bedard and the Blackhawks, tell them about us. Say, hey, I found this really great Hawks podcast. It's on YouTube. It's on podcasts. Go check it out. It's called CHGO Blackhawks. That would be really, really helpful. And by the way, if you are listening on the podcast and you didn't see PD's video, it has been tweeted from the CHGO Blackhawks Twitter account. So you can go there and watch PD's breakdown of the Slingshot power play right there on our Twitter at CHGO_Blackhawks.
So you're watching the YouTube replay and wonder what the hell happened to PD's video.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take that down, guys.
All right. Well, it'll be on Twitter one way or the other.
They can't bust us there.
Exactly. All right. So for Greg and Mario and Steven, I'm Jay. We'll talk to you Thursday pregame on the CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.